Good morning and happy Thursday! Well, clearly some of us haven't had our coffee this morning. It's me. I haven't had my coffee. He's had his coffee. Anyway, welcome to another vloggy. Can you believe it? There's a different background. We're in the car. I'm wearing brown again because new puffer jacket life. Anywho, it is Thursday, the 27th of April. It is 9:17 in the morning. Artie and I have a ton of errands to run today, unbeknownst to him. So I'm hoping that he'll behave for me. I gave him his cuppa this morning. He's had a little OT pouch that he loves. He just saw the windscreen wipers gone and he's like, he's dripped out in his South Street hoodie and his little Air Forces this morning. Bloody cute. So yeah, we've got a ton of things to do. First stop is coffee at my favorite coffee shop on the way through the Swan Valley because they are now closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, which when I was going to be going to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays was fine because I wasn't going to be going past there anyway. And I'd be getting coffee in the city. But now I'll be working Monday, Tuesdays and I won't be able to get coffee from my favorite place. So anyway, back to your harbour. So going past Naked Fox for my coffee this morning on the way to Midland, and we are going to go and drop my butthole and nasal swabs off. Sorry, I should be a bit more professional about that. So I've got to do all of my screening and immunisations and vaccinations for school so that when placement comes up in 3 or 4 months time, I am cleared and ready to go. So I'm going to sit down in more detail and go through this later when I get home and get you guys up to date. But basically I had my appointment yesterday and I've got a bunch of serology to get done. So I'm doing those this morning as well, handing my swabs in. Then we are going to the shops and we need to drop my wedding and engagement rings off. I'm surprising Jake and I'm getting them resized finally. If you know, you know, like this is huge for me because I wanted to wait until we'd had another baby or like, I don't know what I was waiting for, but I just didn't want to get it done. And now I'm like, well, I've maintained like this whole year my weight and I think I'm ready. So I've got them all packed. I've got my paperwork and I'm going to hand them in today and get them done. So that's exciting. And I'm not going to tell him. I'm not even going to tell him that I've taken them to the shop. So I wear this anyway and he knows that. But yeah, all my tattoos are healing up pretty well, which is nice. I'll show you my other ones later. But yeah, so bloods and swabs this morning. Go to the shops. We are going to drop my rings off. We need to get some things from the chemist. I want to try and get my eyebrows done quickly, nothing fancy. What else is there? There's other things on the list, Hales. There's other things on the list. Pick up our Woolies, click and collect on the way home. Oh, the big one. We're going to DOT, so Department of Transport, because I did my NDIS screening. So I need to go and show my ID and all my passport and stuff for that. Get my photo taken. Pay the fee for that, and then that's another big thing ticked off my list. I did my police clearance last night, so that should be on the way to me in my email hopefully today. It said 24-ish hours. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna take you along with me, see how this little rugrat goes, see if I remember to film, and yeah, let's go and get coffee. Good morning, how are you? Yes please. I don't have my card today, just my phone. Who's that? This place is literally my favourite place in the world. I even brought Dana here the other day. The Naked Fox. And it's in the Swan Valley. How beautiful. Can't get any better than that. Thanks, Rach. Take it easy. See ya. Me and Rach, the coffee lady, are like besties. Love her so much. Okay, bye. Time to get some blood taken. High five. Bloods are done and swabs have been handed in. And you know what she says to me? Her name was Haley also. She goes, really weird that they made you do a rectal and a nasal swab. Normally it's like nasal, throat and webs of your fingers. She's like, anyway, hope that was fun for you. It's really awkward. Put that on my list of things not to say to patients in the future. Anyway, I have I don't know what it is about the Naked Fox, but like my coffees just don't hit the same anywhere else. we are just at Midland Shops. We got a really good parking bay actually. We're like right at the front. Undercover too, but we still got to walk out of undercover to go into the shops. So anyway, we're gonna go and get all of our things done. Okay, bye. Oh gosh, it's super windy today. It's windy, boy.
We're gonna go and give this to the lady at the eyebrow place. Yeah.
Okay, we are home. Why you crooked, boo? We are home. I have fresh brows, but I have a story behind these brows today. Now, you guys know I am such an empath and I'm such a giver. Like, my love language is giving. If I can make someone smile or whatever, I'll do what I can to do that. So, you know, I'm out running errands for the day with Artie Bear. And one of the things on my list was to get my eyebrows done. Now I was going to Midland Shops. So I knew that like out the front of Kmart and like Miss Maud's, there's this little like arch brow threading place. And like, they always do a pretty good job. Like, my brows look schmick, they look great. But there used to be a really great girl that worked there. I couldn't remember her name. You know, I always say if I remember, I'll ask for them, but there was only one person there. So anyway, I walk in, this young girl, she's like, come sit down, have a seat. She's like, I'm just doing some other things in between, but I'll be a couple of minutes. I said, yep, take your time. Like, it's no drama. Anyway, so she finally comes over to me and she like starts threading my eyebrows, and Artie's in the pram next to me, like watching cars, eating his yogurt, and he's going, mama, dada, banana. And I heard her sort of like, not grimace, but she was kind of like, oh, and like she sniffed, and then like as the kind of minutes went on, like she was like sniffing a bit, and it sounded like she was like you know when you know someone's crying but like they're trying to inconspicuously cry, and then like I was holding my eyes so she could do it, and then she's like, okay, let go, and like she sounded a lot sadder than she did when we first started. And I looked at her and she had tears in her eyes, and I said, are you okay? And she was like, oh, she's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, no, it's fine. I was like, is everything okay? And she's like, I just hearing him call you mama and say dada. And she said, I have a 3-year-old and he's in India with with his grandparents. I haven't seen him for 3 months because myself and my husband moved here. You know, we got a working visa and we wanted to get jobs and get a good place. And then they were planning to bring him over, but one of them got sick. So he's been there a little bit longer than we planned, but hopefully in the next couple of months they'll be here. And she said, she's like, every morning, you know, I miss him so much and we FaceTime and it makes me so sad. But she said, hearing other people's kids call them mama, and she said, he's so sweet. And she said, sorry, I'm so sorry, I just had a moment. And I said, no, absolutely not. And I started tearing up and I almost cried. And it sort of just made me realize that, you know, these stupid things that we spend so much time fixating on, like obviously there's always someone out there that's more worse off, but like the fact that this whole school and the changing the days and stuff has made me so sad about the fact that Artie might have to go to daycare for like a 10-hour day, or, you know, like when he's going to be staying at my mum's, I'm not going to see him for 2 days at a time. And like, there's people out there that are coming to our country to live a better life, but it means leaving their families and their children back home. Like, you hear Indian Uber drivers and Pakistan Uber drivers all the time saying, I've moved here, I've been here for a year, I haven't seen my wife and my kids, I'm trying to get established and save enough money to be able to get them over here. And, you know, it's all well and good for us to like judge and be like, oh, they come here, they steal our jobs, they do this, they do that. But like, the way I always see it is, well, they have to have studied and be qualified to work here in the job that they're doing. It's the same as at Arthur's daycare. It's probably a really good mix of like young Australian women, and then there's a few like Indian ladies, and they're all lovely. Arthur's main educator, Marie, is, I think she's Sri Lankan. I remember her telling me, and you know, we've had beautiful in-depth conversations. When I was having my miscarriage, she was so supportive because she went through this when she lived back home. You know, and I was only just having this conversation with them the other day about how they study childcare back home, and then they come here and they have to redo all their certs because it's not to the same standard. But if they're working as a lead educator here in our daycare centres, they have studied and qualified for what they should be doing. And so it's not up to us to judge, to just assume that because they're from a foreign country, they aren't going to look after our kids as well as we would, or that like someone of a different background would. At the end of the day, I feel like they are the most caring and nourishing women. There's a few family daycare centres around here that are also managed by Indian families. And I just think that they're the most nourishing, most beautiful people. I don't know what it is. I just have this thing for anyone with like a Sri Lankan or an Indian background. Like I always gravitate towards them, and I don't know what it is, but anyway, this girl was just beautiful. And like, you know, we kind of like had a little moment together, and like I was tearing up and she's trying to do my eyebrows, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, I'm so sorry, you know. And anyway, so I asked her how long she's been here for, and we just had this little moment. And then I walked away from there feeling like I needed to give her something. Like I just wanted to cuddle her and tell her that what she's doing is amazing and so hard, because it made me realize and reflect, you know, in that 5 or 10 minutes of me sitting with this dye in my brows, because, you know, I work hard for my money, but I was so privileged at the fact that I got to take my kid out with me for the day and go and get these things done, as where she's here busting her ass, working every single day to settle in and save enough money to get her child to come and live with her. And I just thought, like, all these things that we worry about, all this time I've spent crying and annoyed at how many things have changed last minute because of how much effort and time I'm putting into having my kid organized while I'm at school, because I hate saying so privileged, but I live in a country where I am so privileged that they have granted my vocational fees. I don't have to pay a $30,000 tuition to go and do what I'm doing. Yet some of the girls that I've met are not permanent residents here yet, and so they are paying $27,000 to do the same course that I'm doing. And like, I deserve to be there, and I deserve to do this. Like, I pay my taxes. Like, I've worked hard for years since I was 13. That's over half of my life, so I deserve this. But what I'm saying is, I have the ability to put my child in daycare. I have grandparents that live around, I'd say around the corner, because around the corner is closer than another country, you know, that can come and take care of him. And, you know, people just to check in on me and make sure that we've got what we need and we're doing okay. So meeting people like Jyoti today just really put that into perspective for me, that like, I really do have it all. Like, and not in that sense, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, seeing how much she broke down just from hearing this child call me mama, and she doesn't even know me or my life story or anything like that. Anyway, I digress. I wanted to give her something. Like, I thought the fact Mother's Day is coming up, and like, that's such a celebrated thing all over the world, and she's not going to be with her baby. And so I went to the newsagent, and I don't know if I took a photo or a video of it, but if I did, I'll put it in here. And I got her this beautiful little tile that just said like, hey mum, and it had this really cute little saying on it about, you know, everything that I am is because of what you've done for me, sort of thing. And I just thought that was so fitting, that this kid doesn't even know, but when he gets older, he's going to be like, my parents moved country for me to give me a better life, even though it meant I lost time with them as a kid for a little while. But like, he's going to know one day. And I just think that's so beautiful. So I got them to wrap it up, and I went back there and I sort of like waved her over, and I said, I felt hard done by last week at the fact I had to put my child into daycare for longer than I wanted to, and the fact that my kid's grandparents are here and they're going to look after him for a couple of days when I go to school. And I just felt like hearing your story today really made me reflect and realize how blessed and how privileged I am to have these things around me, this village, you know, the access to this studying and all the rest of it, you know, to have my life here and be able to do these things. And I said, and I just hate that you were so touched by the fact that he just called me mum, because you don't get to have that every day. Like, yes, you have technology and FaceTime, I said, but like, I hate that you're doing what you're doing to give him a better life, but you can't be with him. And I said, I just know that I wouldn't be able to cope. I said, and so thank you for making me reflect on how blessed I am, but also I wanted to give you something to say happy Mother's Day, because you're not going to see your baby on Mother's Day, and I want you to know that what you're doing is amazing. And I was trying not to cry, and she was just sobbing, like she just broke down into tears, and she just like grabbed me and hugged me and said like, thank you so much. And she said, I have to get back to work, but thank you so much, like I'll never be able to repay you, but thank you. And I just thought like, it was just something so little that I hope when she goes on her break or she gets home tonight and she opens it and reads it, that she's not emotional at the fact that she can't see her kid, but that she realizes like how strong and amazing she is to be able to do what she's doing, because I could not do it. I'm telling you now, I can't even deal with not having Artie for 2 days, let alone 3 months at a time. So I had that little moment of reflection today. I sent my mum a voice message and told her what had just happened, and like even she was like pretty much in tears and was like, I just couldn't do it. She's like, I meet people like this all the time, these poor people that come to our country to have a better life, but it means huge sacrifices like missing out on being with their family. So anyway, that was my little heartfelt moment for the day. And it did. I literally sat there like just wiping tears from my eyes going, it's okay. Like everything is going to be okay. So anyway, I got most of my things done. I didn't make it to the Department of Transport to finish my NDIS stuff, but Arthur's at daycare tomorrow and I'm working from home, so I might drop him off at normal time, go straight to Midland, get that done. I didn't realize that there's no post office at Midland shops, and that was, I needed to get my working with children's paperwork. So I'll go straight out tomorrow morning, do my NDIS screening, sort that out, go past the post office and pick up a bunch of forms, and then come home and I can work for the day. But yeah, again, grateful that I have the opportunity to do that. So I'm just going to unpack my shopping because it's grocery day. So because I obviously start school on Monday, are we focused? Hello? There we go. Yes, so because I start school on Monday, even though it's only half days, well, it's still 5 hours or so, plus travel and whatnot, like I'm still gonna be gone for a while. And I hate obviously buying takeaway food, so I like to be able to have my snacks that I need. Now, obviously I didn't have face-to-face orientation, so I don't know what facilities are available at school, but I know from what I've seen online, you can do like a 360 virtual tour. There is a fully like kitted out kitchen. There's like 4 or 5 microwaves, like boiling water, a kettle, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to pack myself a bunch of little like nibbly snacks, lots of protein things that I can just sort of eat through the day as I go. I tried to get some things that wouldn't be like crunchy or in packets, so I can put just a little lunchbox together, and if I need to in class I can quickly like put something in my mouth, because I don't really know what the rules are, but I'm going to assume you can't really eat in class. But obviously being a little post-Barry gal, there you only get 2 breaks a day when you're there for the 10 hours, so I'm going to need to make sure I have little things I can just quickly put in my mouth. So I've got lots of fresh fruit and veg. I got lots of like Baby Bell cheeses. I got some Milo like pouch yogurt snacks. I bought some dates, some cashews, and I've got protein powder and some like dark chocolate and stuff. I'm gonna try and make like some little like blitz balls or something, you know, just to sort of like keep in the fridge, because those things keep really well with natural sugars and whatnot. Yeah, things that I can just grab and go. I really want to make like a little coconutty, like Lamington kind of ball thing. Eggs, so I can do boiled eggs. I got lots of like beef and stuff, so I can do like a curry thing in the slow cooker again. Noodle cups, I love noodle cups, and if you still have tasteless protein, you can put tasteless protein in your noodle cups. Actually, my hot tip when you're doing a noodle cup is to obviously fill it with boiling hot water, put the veggies and the sachet in there, but then I put it in the microwave for like 2.5 minutes or so, probably 2 minutes, because the water actually like reboils inside the cup and actually makes the noodles like really gelatinous and nice, and not like foamy. Like sometimes noodle cups, like 2-minute noodles especially, do it, but these, fill it up with boiling hot water, put the sachets in the microwave for like 2.5 minutes. You will thank me. And then put your tasteless protein in and just keep giving it a stir and let it settle. But like, yum, how good, and it's winter. So noodle cups, trying to get things that won't take up too much space in my bag as well, because I'm still not sure. I'm assuming I'm gonna pack my bag in the same video as well. But yeah, like my lunchbox fits in my bag at the moment, but that's just because I've been using it for work. So I'm just taking like my diary and my pencil case and my iPad to work. But obviously for school, I'll need like my charger and other bits and pieces. So I may have to just carry my lunchbox as well, which is fine. So we'll get to that. But anyway, Baby Bell cheese, protein ones were on special, so I bought 3 packets. I got Artie's yogurt. Yeah, so like these Milo yogurt pouches. Obviously this isn't something you would have all the time, but I mean, it's a good hit of calcium, 6.6 grams of protein in there. Sugars are probably a little bit higher than what I would like, but I don't have a lot of added sugars in my stuff anyway. So as a little snack to sort of keep me going, again, I could probably just like sip on that in class. That's gonna be yum. I'm excited for that. What else did I get? Oh, cheese and cracker snacks. Obviously it would be cheaper to buy a block of cheese and a packet of crackers and just make it as I go, but these were on special this week, so I don't mind when stuff is like that. We've got kiwi fruits, pears, oh, apples, because I'm just loving apples. My favorite Mousse Body Science bars, they're on special as well, so I just got a couple of those, which I will cut up into little squares actually and put them in one of the little compartments of my lunchbox, because again, I can just like grab a couple of those at a time. Gotta think smart. Work smarter, not harder. Grain waves, just as a little snack again. Pea harvest snaps, because if you know, you know. And I needed peanut butter for some of my recipes, and I figured I've got like the normal, is it sanitarium peanut butter that we use for like toast and stuff, which still has a bit of added sugar in it. Like it's not the worst, but I just figured I would like to get something a bit decent, especially if I'm going to use it in recipes. Plus Artie is loving peanut butter and jam on toast. So these were actually half price this week, so I bought both. I got the Mavis brand, smooth and crunchy, and these are the ones where the ingredients is literally peanuts and sea salt. Roasted high oleic peanuts and sea salt, that's it. Same for this one. So again, like they have all the natural oils in there, so you just got to give them a really good stir before you use them. But peanut butter with apple slices, thank me later. Yum. I've also got a backlog of like rice cakes in the cupboard, so I can have rice cakes with like peanut butter and jam as well. Yeah, I just wanted to have like lots of little things to be able to take with me rather than, you know, getting packaged. Like I can take a banana, I can take a pear. Obviously I'm gonna like cook like meals. I've got meals and stuff in the freezer to take as well. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of like top up on stuff because I want to obviously be able to save money because I'm not going to be earning as much money. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, I'm going to unpack this all and put it away. I'm going to sit down and have something for lunch and chill out, and then I'm going to head into the office and we will catch up and go over my immunization and vaccination requirements, because obviously I had my bloods today, but I'm just going to walk you through that appointment and what that looks like, becoming a student nurse, because again, this is not something that I knew that I had to do before. I just knew that I was immunized, but there is a big list of things you need to be immunized against if you're going to work in the healthcare industry. So luckily I'm okay with all of that, but I still did my research into what some of the things are, because you can choose to do what I've done. I paid $70 today for the serology tests and the MRSA and TB screening, because I would rather pay that first and actually check that I do have immunity to like the Hep B and all the rest of it that's not on my list of current immunizations, because again, I know I had whooping cough only 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago. It's not on my MyGov records. So if by having these, it'll come back and show my immunity to all of the things that she sent off for. And then if they don't come back at the right levels or they're a bit unsure, I have to be revaccinated, which is fine. So yeah, we'll sit down later and go through all of that, but I'm gonna unpack all of this. That turned into me literally cleaning my whole fridge out and my pantry. Like I'm talking wiping everything down, because it was probably a little bit overdue if I'm being honest. But now everything's fresh and great. So let me show you. Not that anyone cares, but anyway, I love seeing people's fridges and stuff. Okay, so I got this little container out of the pantry that had like things in it we didn't really needed to be in there. So I've put all the yogurt pouches in there because those are the most annoying in my fridge. Like I stack them up and line them up, but people like my husband reach in and grab things and like knock them over all the time. So I put that in there for those. As you can see, like my fridge isn't like full. Like once I start cooking with these things, like there's not a bunch of things just sitting in here, but that's because like I buy fresh fruit and veg to cook and eat. So like I cleaned all my drawers out, stocked all my fruits up, all my little like Baby Bell cheeses, protein bars, cheese snacks. I cleaned all like these out as well, sorted all the sauce bottles out. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just like it just feels so good when you just have one of those cleanups. I've got like a backlog in the freezer as well of all my little like fritters and stuff that I made last week. Plenty of frozen veggies. I obviously didn't clean my freezer out because it's half a piece of paper from a box, but we're actually stocked back up, thank gosh, with like meals and lunches because it was pretty empty for a while. And that's why I like cooking big hearty things. Let me show you my pantry. So same again, like this was our big food shop week. So I've actually like tidied all of this since last time you've seen. So there used to be like bags and cords and random shit under there, but like that's recycling, so that's gonna go out. This is where my Woolies bags sit. This is like spare present bags and things like that. That's got present bags in it too. But everything like has its spot. Don't ask me why I'm hoarding and holding on to this, but like I might need it. But yeah, everything literally has its spot. Lunch boxes, hats, my spare notebook. Don't ask me why that's not in my office. But yeah, so I just like restocked all of our main things. I don't have to do this a whole lot. It's mainly like the pastas and the rice and the salt that gets restocked a lot. But like I'm doing some cooking this week, so I needed nuts and bits and pieces. But kind of went through everything. I didn't have to throw a whole lot out because we tend to eat what we buy. But even Artie's stuff, see, I've had to lay all of his stuff down now. It used to all stand up in here nicely, but he can like reach here and his hands just reach the container. So we're in like a little bit of a trouble zone, and I may have to end up moving that in the next week or two. But I've stocked up all of his snacks and stuff because he's going to be going back and forwards to mum's and whatnot. Cleaned all of this out. There's still a little onion flake sitting there. Again, I don't keep too much of this stuff because it just gets smelly and gross, but always lots of almond milk, stuff that I use to cook like bases, spreads and whatnot. I got bakery bread because yum. But again, like I just stocked up on all of my bits and pieces so I can just grab things and go. But again, like other than like this container here and that there that's got like popcorn, some Ritz and a little random packet of Oreos that I found that we forgot to eat, like I don't really have much junk food and stuff anymore. Like even the lolly jar, look how sad that looks. We haven't restocked it for ages because we just find if it's there we eat it, if it's not there we don't need it. So yeah, anyway, pantry is nice and tidy. Obviously all my cereals, oats. Oh no, I bought new oats. I was like, why is that half empty? Yeah, so anyway, the fridge and pantry tour that no one asked for, but it is almost 2 o'clock. Maybe never you can see me. Artie obviously went down a lot later today, so I'm hoping that it will at least sleep till 3, and then I'm going to go and visit my cousin who got to bring her baby home the other day that I got to be there for that accidentally. So if you saw my little reel, how cute. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and visit them for a quick cuddle this afternoon, take them a coffee, and I'm actually gonna quickly put the slow cooker on, but I'm gonna put it on high for like 4 hours. But I think I'm gonna like sear the beef first because I really want like a casserole and some rice or something for dinner. So I think I'll do that. And weirdly enough, normally when I buy bulk meat, like I did, there's normally at least like a week or so on the dates, which I know that if I don't use it before then I freeze it the day before. But like this beef is not the beef that I ordered, but it's obviously all they had. And it literally has 2 days on it. So that's fine, I'm still gonna use it. And I love that they're in these little like, I don't even know what, like wax container things, trying to reduce plastic, I guess. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna quickly whack the slow cooker on because it's only 2 o'clock. I'll sear that meat a little bit so it's a little bit more done, and then Jake and I won't eat until 6:30 anyway, so I think that'll be perfect. But yeah, I don't know when I'll get to have that sit down and catch up, but it'll be sometime. Tell us, Jake. Tell us what Nonna used to do. Saucepan.
My Nonna, before she passed away, God rest her soul, used to get a saucepan, a tin one, which we don't have, so that's alright. Put the gun show away. And then she used to put it on the stove, or on her little wooden stove back when she was alive, and it used to be nice milk, nice warm, full cream milk.
Thank you for that. I even bought full cream milk. Look, because I got the girls coming this morning.
No, I won't use that though.
No, you can, because I think there's plenty of milk. Use it. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to Saturday. That was your little impromptu how to make wheat bix from Jake. No, he has gone on about this warm milk wheat bix situation since we've been together. Like almost 5 years. Can we just acknowledge that fact?
5 years.
2 weeks away from being together for 5 years,
Married
and
for
then 2 weeks after that, married for 2. But in March, we were friends for 8 years. Oh, you found my lost spaghetti from last night.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Jake and I have been friends for 8 years.
Long
A
time.
long time. I mean, there was like a little hiatus in there, but we met each other 8 years ago. Anyway, I haven't had a chance to sit down and update you on my serology blood situation, but basically, I'm gonna break it down for you. There's more toast there. Can you cut that in half? Why are you using the biggest pot?
Because I couldn't find.
Okay, that was a much longer detour than we needed to have, but that's okay. I'm just gonna move you over here with me because I'm just trying to clean some things. So, as I was saying, I went for my appointment the other night, and I kind of updated you a little bit when I spoke the other day. I don't know, I'll see when I edit this, and I'll probably have to take some bits out, but that's okay. So part of my requirements for when I get to placement for school is that, okay, that's better. So part of my requirements, basically they give you this huge form, and it's called an immunisation declaration. And basically you go onto MyGov, and if you don't know what MyGov is because you're not from Australia, it is basically where we have our social security, our Medicare, which is our public medical system that pays for all of our stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's our health system, and then we also have our tax and everything and our super on there too. So it's all in the one place, which is amazing. One password and it's there. But basically you can go on there to your MyGov, your Medicare section, and you can actually print your immunisation history. So any immunisation and vaccination you've had since you're a child, as long as they've been recorded correctly and properly, they will be in there. So I printed out my certificate, but I have no history before 1997. So 5 years of childhood vaccinations gone, which probably isn't the worst thing because you could do serology, so they can test to see what your immunity is to those things. So basically we went through the list that school gave us versus the one that I printed from MyGov that says what I've already got, and none of it correlates. So basically out of all this criteria for school, all I do have is 3 COVID vaccinations. So love that for me. I had my diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus, which is whooping cough, when I was pregnant with Artie. So that was 2 years ago. That's not on there. When I called the hospital, they were just like, oh, we'd have to go through your records because we would have put a sticker in your file, and it would be recorded, but that's not enough. Like I need the batch, just all that sort of stuff. So anyway, it's easy to just have the vaccine again. So then I said to my doctor, well, is that like viable though? Like, is that necessary? Is there not a way, like even if I just get the letter from them to say that I went to that appointment where they administer the thing? And she was like, no, because this form states that they need the batches and the doses and stuff. So anyway, she said, it's not going to hurt you. It's actually, you know, not a bad idea. It's been 3 years. You've been through a lot with your body. So it wouldn't be a bad thing. And I was like, okay, that's fine. All the other ones, so Hep A, if my immunity is not over 1,000 or whatever the requirement is for that, I've got to have 3 doses of Hep A, and they're about $80 to $100 each dose, depending on where you buy the vials from. So low-key hoping that that comes up, because I'm pretty sure I had to do that a few years ago, and again, I don't know why they're not recorded. Varicella, which is chickenpox. I know that I'm vaccinated for chickenpox. I remember it as a kid, so I'm hoping that will come back in my serology to say that that's fine. I had to have tuberculosis screening, and obviously, yeah, I've never been in contact with or had any of that, so fingers crossed that's all okay. MRSA, which tests you to make sure you're not a carrier for streptococcus. Yeah, so all of those sorts of things I have to have, because obviously I'm going to be working with children, working in nursing homes, you know, working with aged, working with immunocompromised. So I know how important that is because that's me, but I am very lucky and I'm still in remission from before, from when I fell pregnant with Artie. So thanking my lucky stars every single day. So anyway, basically went to my appointment, took this list with me. The doctor went through it all. She got a piece of paper out and like just wrote notes to everything and said, we'll do serology for this, and if you don't have that, you'll need the vaccine. We'll do serology for this, yada yada yada. So I did all of that. It cost me about $70 at my appointment to have all the serologies done. I had to do the nasal and the rectal swabs, which is what I think I was explaining to you yesterday about how the girl was like, why did they make you do a rectal one? It should have just been nose, throat, and webbings of your fingers. So that's weird. But anyway, it's done now. I was vilified, but anyway. So that's all done. It is Saturday today. I sat there last night until about 11:30 and redid my planner because remember I got all those really cool like reusable stickers and stuff. How cool. Didn't know that they would come in handy like they did because I'd already set my planner up 2 weeks ago to my old school dates and with Jake's lates and him being away and stuff, which that's now changed as well. So sat there last night with my little whiteout tape and peeling all my stickers off and moving them around. So that's now done. So I've got a little checklist of things to do this weekend. I've got some friends coming over for morning tea this morning, which will be nice. And then we're going to IKEA to pick up my Mother's Day present, which is my new office chair and some things for my office. What else are we doing? Okay, so that's today. I need to do my infection control certificate, so I'll probably start doing that this afternoon. It takes about an hour, but it's like a really long textbook to read, and I'm a note taker, so I think what I might do is actually just like go through, read it, do the thing, get the certificate, and then I'll sit and go back through it and write some dot points down just for like some main things that stood out, because it's still like 3 or 4 months away from me to get to placement, so I want a bit of a refresher, which is what I've done with hand hygiene as well. So yeah, I had like this little fire lit when I was doing the hand hygiene thing because it talked about microorganisms and like colonization and isolation and all of that sort of stuff, and it reminded me how much I loved Year 10 science and why I went to school to do like personal training, health and fitness, because I wanted to do more human biology stuff, and my science teacher said, oh, you'd love being a personal trainer. I loved her and I loved what she did for me for science, but I look back at it now and I'm like, all it taught me was that I love the human body. That is it. So then I got to hairdressing and makeup, and in those you still have chemistry, which I love. You still do human biology because you have to learn about like the hair and how it grows and the root system and your skin layers and the epidermis and all of that sort of stuff and how it works and how it grows. So again, all of those things I loved. So that's again what's brought me to this point, is that I want to learn everything about the human body, and I am so excited that for the rest of my life I get to do that. So definitely feel like I'm in the right place. I know I haven't started yet, but obviously I know what it entails. I know what I'm going into. I'm going into the medical field, and I'm so excited. So anyway, that's the plan for today. Jake is just showering Artie because he got very dirty from his breakfast, his 3 breakfasts. Tomorrow we are taking Arthur up to my mum's in the morning, and we've got his new cot that we bought to go up and like build it, get his room set up there. So it's just easier if he has his day nap wherever he's going to be staying, because then he's like, oh, I slept in this space, I'm comfortable, and then he'll sleep at night. So I said to mum, we'll bring him up in the morning, we'll have morning tea, build his cot. I'm going to put his spare car seat in her car as well. So it just means, because like she's doing us such a massive favor, but she still has my 16-year-old sister at home who can't drive and stuff yet, and if it's raining and whatnot and she's got to pick her up and drop her off, that's what's always made it so hard with her being here and not there and whatnot. So this is just going to be easier for everyone. Yeah, so we're going to do that tomorrow, and then Jake and I are going to have some time together, which will be nice, but our time together will be running errands. So we're going to go to the shops and sort Mother's Day stuff out while we've got the time. I'm going to go and try some sketches on, because I've used to have like the little slip-on sketches for makeup school, but yeah, like I've been having this conversation around, obviously I know I can't wear my Crocs. Yeah, I just feel like I feel more professional, and just like I feel settled when I'm in a uniform and like I'm in a space to do something. So that's just what I'm going to do. It's just going to be easier, and it gets us into the habit of doing it. So I'm excited for that. Got the shoe situation sorted. Again, like I said, I'm going to go and try some sketches on for sizing, because we get a lot of discounts through like eNurse and stuff. So I always feel bad going into a store and knowing that I'm not going to buy it, but I do tell them that from the start. I'm still buying their brand, just not through them, because, you know, well, you can get it cheaper unless they offer me a really good price. But Anyway, I'm a student, so I'm also not in a rush to buy shoes. I want to get to school and find out from them what the recommendations are, because they had this whole strict uniform list in the orientation, but then at the end of it, when they addressed perf separately, is where we found out we do still wear scrubs. They don't. They wear like business pants and a polo over on the East Coast, and then they showed like the types of shoes. So they're like black lace up or like full enclosed leather, but I'm like, okay, but is that like, can we get like the Birkenstocks that are leather and fully enclosed and have the strap at the back? Because my feet get so bad, my plantar fascia is not nice in my left foot, and so I love wearing Crocs. Crocs have literally changed my feet, and I could wear them day in, day out, 24/7. But the ones that I have aren't going to be allowed in the workplace because they have all the holes in them. So that's fine. I will buy the ones that don't have holes in them because it's the feet part anyway. But Crocs also make little sneakers now too. So again, I'm just going to get to school. We're just going to ask them what is the, you know, most popular, but also what's allowed. We don't want to get to placement and then get told you can't wear those shoes. So apparently Royal Perth Hospital has a strict shoe policy and says strictly no Crocs whatsoever. So it doesn't matter what they are. So that's a bit weird, but anyway, we'll see. So that's my update. That's what we're doing. I don't know how much of it you'll see or what I'll show you, but yeah, I'm planning on just like getting my first day of school in at least and updating you in here how that went. I'll try and vlog some of it, see how we go, just so you can see where I'm going and all the rest of it. Because I think that's fun to put like a face to a name, you know what I mean? So we'll do that, and then yeah, I can't wait to get stuck in. I'm so excited. Anyway, speak to you soon. Good afternoon. So I'm coming to you live from my office. I have a bunch of washing to fold, some snackos to eat. We just got home from the shops and got my school shoes. They're in that bag. So I'll show you a little bit later because I really need to get this washing done before I can do all the fun things, like packing my bag for school and trying my shoes on. So I'm going to do that, have some snacks, and watch some Grey's Anatomy while I'm doing that. And then we can pack my bag. Okay, let's do it. this bag packed for school. So if you know me, you know I can't leave the house without having everything I might need, because you know, if you don't have it, you'll need it, and if you need it, you've got it. So I packed this little bag that's got some sanitary things, some face masks, some main medication I might need, and I've got some like spares of everything, because there's this little pocket that's a little bit more easy accessible. So I've got my multivitamins, some moisturizer, my lens cleaner, my headphones, hair ties, tampons, all of those kinds of things. I've got some quick flick sunscreen, some deodorant, my glasses, my sunnies, my chewies, and just some hand sanitizer wipes just in case, and again, easily accessible. I'm taking this portfolio and this little folder with some important documents and a notebook. Then I've got this little case that's got my cords in it and this little hub for me to plug anything into my iPad. I am also going to pack my mouse, which isn't here. I'm going to put this in this little pocket with my little hygiene and sanitary bag. I'm going to put my wallet in the big pockets too, because safety, and my ID I'm going to wear, but I'm just showing you how cool these little clips are so that you don't lose things. And my key, I don't need it to physically start my car, so it can stay there too. There is a space for my iPad right here, but I'm going to put it in my bag because I've got more room than I thought I would, and my lunchbox will perfectly fit in there tomorrow. And you can see my water bottle can go in or out based on how much room I have, and I love it so much. I'm so stoked with this purchase. Hello friends, excuse the sight. 7:30 at night. I've just got a little pot of water boiling. So, you know, I'm thanking last week Haley, and I've got pasta sauce out the freezer ready to go. All I have to do is cook pasta. So it's Wednesday, it's the 3rd of May. I love a week that starts on the 1st. Every day as it goes by. Monday the 1st, Tuesday the 2nd. You guys know how to count, you get it. But I love a week that starts like that. So it's Wednesday, it's the 3rd of May, which means I have just finished my 3rd day of nursing school, and I'm just so obsessed. I'm literally just so obsessed. Let me grab my iPad. Basically, I'm just going to give you a quick update on like what's happened since I got to school, and then I'm also going to give you an update on my vaccination, immunization, serology situation, because I just had my appointment this afternoon, so I've got all of that back. So 3rd day of school, I have honestly just had the best time. Like, when I say that, like, it's hard, there's lots of learning, my brain is tired, it's ridiculous, but this is the way that they're doing it. Is, you know how I was saying, we have to go for Monday to Friday, 9 till 1 for 2 weeks. Then we go to our normal Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8:30 till 5. Basically, so the 2 weeks is 10 days, and there's 10 units for the first semester. So what they've done to give us a look into what it's going to look like over the next couple of months is, when you start a unit, you do an introduction lecture for the unit. So it covers what it's going to look like, what information you're going to learn. It starts teaching you some of the things. It tells you how you're going to be assessed, the ways you might be assessed, exams, essays, multiple choice questions, all that sort of stuff. Basically just covers all the info, and then it goes into the first learning lecture. So basically day 1 was cultural diversity. So working with people of all different cultures, ages, so many different things. We learned a lot because our class is very multicultural, so a lot of them told us about what it's like to work in the nursing industry in their country versus here, you know, and just like a lot of things about how apparently Buddhist men aren't allowed, you're not allowed to touch the head. So it's like so many little things that I would like never have known if I didn't go to school. So anyway, that was Monday. Obviously it was a lot of like information, people asking lots of questions, uniforms, student IDs, all ironing out all of the little things. Our lecturer is an absolute legend. Her name is Rose. She's a Aussie lady, so like I was very grateful because like I love all of my foreign friends and peers, but like this is hard crap. I shouldn't say crap. This is hard stuff, and I need to be able to understand. And so I was well and truly settled with the fact I was probably going to have a foreign teacher, because I knew if they're going to be my teacher, they're going to know their crap anyway, because they're going to have to obviously like learn to have the qualifications and be diploma qualified to be able to teach us. So I was fine with it, but I just thought I might struggle a little bit. So much to my dismay, I got there, and yeah, this lovely lady walks out and she's like, "Hey, I'm Rose, I'm your teacher." And I was like, oh my gosh. And she lets us have coffee in class, which most of the teachers don't. So that's okay. I'm very happy with that. So anyway, that was Monday. Yesterday was practicing nursing in the Australian healthcare industry, community, whatever you want to call it. Basically practicing healthcare in Australia. So it covered off, you know, the public versus private systems, Medicare, how it works, how the government helps, what the government funds, down to the state governments, down to the local governments, community health nurse programs, all of that sort of stuff. And remembering that this is just the intro to all of these. So we're obviously going to delve further into policies and procedures, certain practices that we need to understand and be aware of. So that was that. Today was my favorite. So today was, let me show you. So today was confirming physical health status. So basically what, like the things that you're going to need to know to do vitals and observations. So we went into the cardiovascular system, which is your heart. We spoke a little bit about neurology, which is your brain, but it was more about all of the systems that make the body. So my little workbook, let me show you. Absolutely obsessed and loving. Okay, let me see if it will. Look at it. Confirmed physical health status. So basically by the end of the session, they, you know, were like, you'll be able to gather your information, understand what physical health status is, and identify different variants of the human body. So again, a bee's dick. It was a little drip into it, but it literally, we covered everything. Introduction to human anatomy and physiology, the muscular system, the skeletal system, cardiovascular, respiratory, urinary, literally everything. I learned a lot of things. Homeostasis is the status of balance of the human body, and homeostatic imbalance is homeostasis imbalance. So basically, if you're in homeostasis, you're a completely perfectly functioning normal human, which is what you aim for as a nurse, to get their vitals up to where they should be. When you are at homeostatic imbalance, it shows, you know, indications of disease and infection and all the rest of it. So many things that I learned. I'm just going through so I can show you the cool things. Basically, you know, we went through everything from like structural organization of the body. So obviously we are an organism. Our body is made up of millions and trillions of tiny little things that make us. So we started breaking that down. So we went through from like skin, then we went into like cells, tissue, organs, organ systems, organisms, blood cells, muscle cells, skin cells, nerve cells, glandular cells, what they are, types of tissue, different organs, how they work, the human body systems. And then we broke down each one of those. So we went from like cardiovascular to respiratory. I honestly was in my element, because if you know, you know, I am like completely nerded out on human bio, the science of the body, all of the things. So I was in my element today. So like, you know, I took all the color and all of the pen writing is obviously me, you know, so I like went through, wrote notes to help myself. If I learnt things, I, you know, if there was like terminology on there, she would always go blah, blah, blah. Now that, whatever the word was, is, and then break it down. So I would sit there and scribble notes. You know, we went through all the different glands of the body and what they do, and if your body actually needs them and how they work and all the rest of it. Female reproductive systems. So obviously I was like love that. I even got to teach her things, which was really cool because she's never been pregnant or had a baby. So she's like, tell me about it. What do you know? That was really cool. We learnt about the male reproductive system, how the semen's made, where it's made, where it goes, how it comes out. If you know, you know. Digestive system, integumentary system, which is the skin system, skin, hair, nails, exocrine glands, where your sweat and your oil comes out of, the lymphatic system, organs of the immune system, central nervous system, special senses, eyes, ears, smell, taste, all the rest of it, oral health, and then human life processes, so how you start and how you end. Yeah, and then we did more in-depth, so then we went into like cardiovascular and broke that down and how the heart, so that first unit was really about the heart as a whole, and then the muscles that break it up and how it works, the cell systems and how that works, the blood vessels, the arteries, so many things. I could keep going. Anyway, loved it. I'm going to sit and go over my notes tonight because I wrote a bunch of things down. Like, what I love about this is that you can clearly see the diagram that they've given us, but then you can see all of my hand drawn arrows, so like those pink, well, purpley and blue arrows are what I've written, and you can see numbers next to all of the things because it's labeled one way, but then she's like, so the blood goes into the superior vena cava and it's blue, which means it's deoxygenated blood, or it's oxygenated blood, whatever. Basically, as she broke it down, I put numbers. Sorry, Jake just got home, so I just put pasta in and said hello to him. But yeah, so anyway, I just completely nerded out today. You know, I learnt lots of things about the heart, the electricity systems of the heart, the circadian rhythm in your body, and how everything kind of works together. So I've got lots of messy notes, like I just scribbled a bunch of things down. So I kind of want to go through and like, because I can open up my notes side by side, like I can have 2 copies of the same thing open, so I can like fix one of them. Anyway, but yeah, so absolutely loved today. That was a really good day. Lots of brain overload. It was 2 lectures today, so it was a lot. So as a whole, I'm loving it. I've caught the train 3 times, twice from Guildford, once from Edgewater, so that's been good. I've tried to sort of catch it around the time I'll need to be at school, so I know that I can get there on time and that things, you know, aren't going to be a bit crazier when I have to get there earlier and it's busier. So parking has been great at both times, so that's fine. Obviously, like, I've still been dropping off and picking up Artie as I normally would, so although my days at school haven't been as long, I've been picking up and dropping off, then coming home and working for a couple of hours, so I am pretty tired. I've managed to go to the gym a couple of times, which is great. I'm sore, but that's okay. So my serology bloods, I went today, and basically, as we thought, all of the things that didn't show up I would probably have to be revaccinated for, so that's fine. Diphtheria, pertussis, and whatever else it is, I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm literally so tired, that makes up your whooping cough jab. So it's whooping cough and tetanus at the same time. Diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. So whooping cough and flu vaccine I knew I would need to have anyway, and then I do need to have 3 doses of Hep B. So they'll be first one tomorrow, next one in 1 month, so 4 weeks, and then the next one 3 months. Yeah, at the 3-month point from the first one, which is perfect because my first prac starts in 13-14 weeks, I think, so plenty of time. She just said don't have them all on the same day, as in like flu, whooping, and your first Hep B. So I'm gonna have Hep B tomorrow, rebook for Monday next week and get my whooping cough, and then at the end of the week I'll go and get my flu vaccine. So at least then I'll be up to date with all of that. I've got to get my working with children's check form signed by school tomorrow because student support has just been smashed. Obviously, with it being the first week, everyone's just been rushing, so it's quieting down a little bit, but I didn't take what I needed today, so I didn't rush. But I'm going to do that tomorrow. I get to meet Jody in the city before school for coffee tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to sort of come on. I can't remember what I've already vlogged, but I know it was like getting ready for school and stuff, so I thought I may as well come on, end this out, give you an update on how the first few days have looked. I am going to, like, you know, try and use TikTok and stuff a little bit more for like education purposes. because I love learning and I love teaching. So I think it's just, yeah, really gonna be something that I'm gonna excel in. I'm super excited. But anyway, I hope you have loved watching so far. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in another week or so and let you know how the rest of it's gone. I hope you're all well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. Anyway, I love you so much.